Hello, hello. Here's Aage again, coming to you from Broadcast Team Alpha on 44 different platforms around the world with the Paranormal World Show. And I want to make a really interesting introduction to a concept that a lot of people are worrying about tonight. But first, we're coming on 44 different platforms, and one of them is the Conscious Awakening Network. You got to go over there and have a look at those guys. They got about 40, 50 different shows over there on that platform. And a lot of that is information that both you and me need to know about. So go and have a look at them at consciousawakeningnetwork.org. And I also want to tell you how you can get a hold of Nori and myself. Go to broadcastteamalpha.com. There is a contact feature there, so just send us a note and get the email, and we'll get back to you, so maybe we can communicate. It will be kind of fun. So, yes, I want to talk about somebody and something that a lot of people worry about, and that is karma. There is a rumor in town, and that is that if you say something to somebody that really hurt them bad, or if you do something to somebody that really hurt them bad, you're going to get judged and you will be punished after you drop the body. Well, sometimes before too. There's laws for stuff. But we have to think about this a little bit because there's a lot of fear around it. Is it true? When we come here and do something that isn't quite right, according to our standards, will we be punished for it afterwards? I think everybody's got something in the past that they are not too proud of. Something they said to somebody, and afterwards they, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I should have done that better. Oh, that could have been said different. Well, let's look at this concept of coming here in physicality. What are we doing here? I think the sages of old and the thought leaders of the present, they're considering this a school. We come here to learn and grow. And there is this thing called free will. But is it free will only here? Or does that come from somewhere else? Well, I have my own information on that. That before we come here, we get presented with 2 or 3 different life situations. We choose one. In that life situation, there is things that we are agreeing to come here to do and participate and learn. So we choose. Whatever happens in a major way happens here, that we chose to do that. So then, if we come here already agreed to do something that at our standards is kind of bad for someone, for the purpose of learning and growing, remember? And then we drop the body and go back. Should we be punished for what we agreed to do when we came here, and then when we go back to reevaluate what we did? No, that is not punishment. But the rumor on the street is that, yeah, you will get a punished. And that's a very persistent rumor because it says so in the Bible. God has these 10 things that he doesn't want you to do. And in the word of George Carlin, he says that if you do any one of those things, you're going to go to hell and you're going to burn the rest, and just laying in there, just burn and agony the rest of eternity. But he loves you. No, there is no such thing as that kind of punishment unless we impose it on ourselves by our belief. Yeah, then we can have it. So now, when we go back, the Bible is right when it says that you will be judged by God. Okay? Then, who's God? Read the Bible again. It says right in there, in John's, it says, you are gods. Actually, it says, ye are gods. Well, that's probably the Catholic version of it, but you are gods. So when you go back home and reevaluate your life situation, how you did it, you get to see what you did for the good, and you get to see what you agreed to do that wasn't good necessarily at our standards here, but it was a learning experience, and you get to evaluate what you did. Could you have done it better? Or did you louse it up really bad? Sometimes that can happen. And if you really loused it up, you may want to come back in another life situation, try to do it again and do it better. That's what reincarnation has a purpose for. So that concept about punishment doesn't fly with me, and it doesn't fly on the other side either. I have a memory of a time between incarnations when I was standing around. There was a round table with other entities there, tall, 7 foot tall, 6 foot, 7 foot tall, in robes. And we were looking in the top of that table. It was kind of like in a watery pool. There's a three-dimensional view of what was in there. That's where the life situations was presented to me. And I looked at what was presented and I chose one. Obviously, I chose this one because here I am. Now, the free will comes in at that time. I chose the life situation, or this one, that had all the major things in it that I have done in the past and what I will do in the future. So all the stuff in my past that I didn't feel that was very happy about, with its major things, I agreed to it. That was free will also. So now that changes the picture a little bit. So it is, whatever happens here are all learning experiences. Now, if we go outside and do things outside of the agreed upon plan, which can also happen, then there are other rules that come into play. And that can get a little complicated for us to understand. So the learning experiences that we have here go back after we drop the body. It goes back. We review everything. We see what we could have done better, what we didn't do as good as we wanted to, and we then will have a choice. Do we want to go back and try to do something different? Do we want to go back and try to do something better or something that we failed at last time? Or do we just want to say, none of that stuff for me, I'm going to stay here. I'll find something to do here. You could become a guide for someone. You can, there are other spiritual, let's call it jobs. There are spiritual things you can do for further your growth. So there is an evolution of consciousness and spiritual growth, both here and after you drop the body. And here is two different concepts that I hope will explain to you why the word karma should not even be in the dictionary. The rumor that karma, you can't get around it. Whatever you did bad to somebody here, you're going to get punished for. You're going to have to come back and do it over again. Okay. If that is what you believe, that is probably what you will have. Because the illusionary existence doesn't only stay in the physical, it follows you after. Let's say that you came here and had agreed to have cancer. And then you get cancer and you hate it. You know, you're miserable every day. And that's a rough thing. But let's say that you get an idea that maybe I have cancer and now you cure it. Do some holistic stuff. None of the other stuff seemed to work. So if you can learn the experience of having cancer by either curing it or getting with someone, a family member or someone else that has cancer, and then get in their mind, have them explain how they feel, be with them, experience their cancer, so you get the learning experience of cancer by someone else having it. If you get the same learning experience that way, you may avoid it yourself. That is one way to avoid karma or cancer. Now, there's another one, and that is forgiveness. There is people that have had illnesses or have situations that looked pretty bad, and they went within. They forgave the illness. They forgave themselves for leaving themselves open to have it. They forgave others that was in some way connected to it. That's what the Hawaiian Ho'oponopono is all about. You forgive it all. You accept it, bless it, and forgive it. Now, there's a little process to that. And that's one of the things that we do in the mastermind session that we do on Sundays when Nori and I and a group of people get together and create sometimes out of seemingly nothing. You should come and check it out and join us and have an experience. Forgiveness of yourself is very important. Not a lot of people do that. They can forgive other people, and that's good. That is half the equation. Forgive others for being involved and doing what they did in your experience. And then forgive yourself for allowing yourself to go through and learn. Chances are that it was in your life plan that you came here with to learn that form of forgiveness so you could avoid what otherwise might have happened. So there is much more to this concept of karma. And we need to go within to learn from ourselves. That is your higher self. Because there's a lot more to this brain and this mind. Did you notice I put and in between the two of them? Because they're not the same. Brain is the computer. The mind involves also the hardware. That is the programming that you put on the computer, on the brain. But also another part of that mind is non-local. It's not in you at all. It is everywhere around you. You are connected to everything in that mind. You have access to everything in that mind. It's just that we were never told how to go and learn or how to get that information or resources. That is what we do in the mastermind also. So here's where it is. It's not out there. When we go to school from 7 years or maybe before, all the way up through the end of college or whatever your education is, we're told that everything is in here. That is only half the equation. There's many scientific experiments that prove we live in a mind-created universe. So if the mind is involved, that means the brain and the mind, because the brain is only a part of the mind. So kind of try to get close to people that speak at that higher level of consciousness. I associate with those kinds of people. I associate with Greg Braden, Dispenza, Sadhguru, and people like that. I've never met them, but I associate with them because I watch their videos, I read their books, and whatever they do, I watch it. And when they speak, I learn. You should do the same. And watch my videos too. There's a lot of good stuff in there. So now it is up to you. Learn to meditate. Meditation is usually the gate to higher consciousness. And then you can read one of my books about spiritual science, higher conscious thinking, and how to access the universal consciousness. It teaches you how to basically use your mind in ways you normally would think would be impossible. Go to Amazon and you put my name in there and it'll come up. And then sit down, write down what you want more than anything else in your life. Make a list of it. Review that list every day. I got stickers on the computer up there for things that I want. So come and visit us in the mastermind session. It is something you've never seen anything like it before. And if you don't come and visit, you probably will never see anything like it again, because we do incredible things. So send us an email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com. themastermindconnection@gmail.com. And then we'll get you some information and a link to come and observe and participate. And if you're watching this on YouTube, if you like what you heard, please subscribe. That helps us a lot. So then until next time, watch for the next video on next Sunday, and also on Thursday night for the Broadcast Team Alpha Show at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific, 7 o'clock East Coast time. We'll be there with an interesting show for you. So until then, be good to each other.